The entire crypto market has flipped bullish and things are looking very optimistic for the start of 2022. I want to take a minute to just talk about a couple of important things going on with the overall market. I want to talk about a couple of different altcoins like Kadena, Luna, and Cardano, and a few other things that you need to know with the overall market. So if you enjoy this sort of content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's jump right in. Overall crypto market sitting at a $2.37 trillion market cap, and we are seeing a lot of optimism in the market. Overall crypto fear and greed index has completely flipped. We were in this extreme fear territory for the last couple of weeks. Now we have seen it bounce back in the fear territory right at 39. So as soon as we see this historically get above 40, which we have just within the last week, as soon as we see it get above 40, usually the overall market is primed for a breakout. You could see in July of 2021, right when we went from extreme fear to over that 40 level, we saw a massive rally happen. Bitcoin's price doubled. Same thing happened in late September, early October 2021. So now that is looking very bullish. In terms of technical indicators, we're seeing a lot of optimism as well. What we're seeing is that Bitcoin's price had been trending downwards for the last couple of weeks. We had seen it go from an all-time high of $69,000 per coin, drop down to as low as $40,000 per coin, and we had been trading in that downward channel that we have talked about multiple times on the channel before we just recently broke out right around December 21st, 2021. So we broke out. Now we have gotten above that key $50,000 level. Now that we're above this, we've been consolidating for a little bit, priming for a breakout, and we're mimicking the same price movements as the first Bitcoin cycle back in 2013. We're following the same exact movements there, which we've talked about before. But now I want to quickly talk about Plan B, his stock to flow model, and what is going on here. Because a lot of people are saying that his stock to flow model was invalidated, no longer the case, because it was predicting we would see a $100,000 per coin Bitcoin by the end of 2021. But actually, when you look at this, we are still on the lower bands of this level. Very similar to what we saw in about March of 2019 when we saw that big rally happen in the overall crypto market. So still, his model is still on track. We're on the lower bands, so it's on a little lower price side, but this means that really, if we follow this model, look at the historical patterns, whenever we have been on the edge, right on this lower band, that light blue band, we have seen a massive rally following, which is looking like what is going to happen in the first parts of 2022. I want to quickly interrupt today's video to bring you a word from our channel partner, Unstoppable Domains. Unstoppable Domains is the best place to buy blockchain-based domain names, as there are already 1.7 million domains registered. Blockchain domain names are just like a .com or a .org, but the records are stored on the blockchain, and they do two things different from regular domain names. The first is that they simplify crypto payments, and the second is that they build uncensorable websites. Recently, the value of these domains have been skyrocketing since we first talked about them on the channel about a month ago when I first bought my first blockchain-based domain names. And what we are seeing is that companies like Budweiser are buying their own blockchain domain names with beer.eth. White Castle bought whitecastle.eth, and dozens of other companies are already buying these because this is a space that is continuing to grow, and the value of these are only getting higher. One of my favorite things about Unstoppable Domains is that they recently integrated Polygon, so now you can mint domain names to the Polygon blockchain completely for free with zero gas fees. Unstoppable Domains is definitely worth taking a look at, in my opinion, so make sure to use the link in the description to sign up, and let me know in the comments which blockchain-based domain name you have or you're interested in getting. Anyways, back to the program. So now I want to quickly just talk about a couple of altcoins like Cardano, Kadena, and Terra Luna. So right now, Terra Luna has made some pretty big moves over the last couple of weeks. This is a coin that we've talked about a couple of times on the channel. One of my favorites, actually. We've issued a number of buy alerts for this in our private member community. We haven't issued any recently, but we got a lot into it when it was in that $30 per coin range. Now it just recently surpassed an all-time high of $100 per coin, and the reason for this is their ecosystem has been absolutely exploding. We have seen that it has skyrocketed the rankings. When you look on the site called DeFi Llama, it tracks the total value locked on all these different layer 1 solutions, meaning how much money is basically just in that ecosystem. And what we could see is that Terra Luna's ecosystem has seen an inflow of so much capital over the last couple of weeks, and really last 2 weeks. We've seen that the total value locked has increased 46% in the last 7 days, meaning that now it has surpassed Binance Smart Chain, surpassed Solana, surpassed Avalanche, surpassed all these projects, and now is only behind Ethereum in terms of total value lock. So if you're looking at, well, is Terra Luna still a good investment considering where it is? Well, I would say yes, because where you look at these, like, it has come up a lot. So it's expected to see a bit of a pullback at some point. But the way that I like to look at these layer one solutions is to look at how much is their total TVL, total value locked. And when you look at these numbers right now, it should be Ethereum as the highest, the most valuable layer one solution, which it is. It is currently, number 2 out of all cryptos. The second, based on this chart right here, should be Terra Luna, because it has the second highest total value locked. But it is not. It is the number 9 crypto. We see Binance, we see BNB ahead of it, we see Solana ahead of it, we see Cardano all ahead of it, yet all of those projects have significantly lower total value lock, TVL. So if you're looking at the TVL, comparing it to market cap, there's a little bit of a discrepancy there, which is why I have not sold any of my Terra Luna, which is why I'm going to continue to hold it. I don't know if I will be adding any more to my positions because I'm adding to some other coins we'll talk about later in the video, but based on TVL, comparing it to market cap, there's a bit of a discrepancy there, and really I would expect Terra Luna, if it continues to see that growth on its ecosystem, to rise to that number 3 or 4 position, because it has seen that massive growth in total value locked. Second project I want to talk about, though, is going to be with Cardano, because Cardano has seen a lot of movement as of lately, and one key thing just recently happened in terms of technical indicators and the charts. When we look at the charts right now, the other day we did a video, we talked about Cardano and said specifically how it was very important to see it cross above that $1.40 per coin level, which is right around here. And as soon as we saw it cross above this level, we said this was a very bullish sign for the market, and it would be very important for, the next couple of months for Cardano, as we have seen long-term consolidation. Now that we have officially seen it pass that $1.40 per coin and stay there, that is a very bullish sign, in my opinion, for Cardano, and is one of the many reasons why I am not selling any Cardano. I may actually add a bit more, and you could see on the 4-hour charts, we did touch that level, but we bounced right back off of it, and that was a very, very bullish sign, saying that that $1.40 support, like that resistance that used to be $1.40, has now turned into support, and we have seen it bounce off of that very nicely. So Cardano is also in a great position. Last thing I want to go over, though, is probably one of my favorite coins out there right now, and that is Kadena, because Kadena is one of the most undervalued layer one solutions and ecosystems out there. Right now, it's at $13.14 per coin. We've been talking about this coin so much on the channel as of recently. I was telling everyone in our private member community to buy it when it was around $9 per coin, $10 per coin, $11 per coin, and we're seeing that it's up significantly over the last couple days. But the key thing with Kadena is that it did see this massive rally happen earlier in the year before consolidating right around that $9 to $10 per coin range. We are finally starting to see it break back out again, and the key thing with Kadena is that it's only at a $2 billion market cap, when many of the other layer one ecosystems are over $20 billion. So just looking at this, comparing it to other layer ones, you would say, okay, well, it has at least 10x potential. I think that's very possible. But the one thing I want to point out with Kadena is specifically with regards to how it stacks up to its competitors. When we look at Kadena right now, I posted a tweet about it the other day, and what we could see is that there were a lot of people talking about it, retweeting it, showing some of this. And I found this chart very interesting from someone who spoke about, put this chart right here, comparing all these other layer one solutions. And what we see is that in terms of transactions per second, Kadena is by far the highest, with 480,000 transactions per second, more than Solana, more than Avalanche, more than any other project out there. So even though that in itself isn't enough, to make it more valuable, it shows us that it has the infrastructure, it has the base to be the best solution, best layer one ecosystem out there in terms of transaction fees. the lowest in terms of transaction fees. So when we look at the statistics, we look at the numbers for Kadena, it has all of the right ingredients, all of the right like base solutions, base levels that make it a potential Ethereum killer. It has all of the numbers, has all the advantages. All that's missing right now is more NFT marketplaces being built, more projects being built on it, and that is very important. We can't undermine that, but seeing that all these problems with Ethereum gas fees, seeing that people have had some issues with Solana with the network crashing, I believe we're going to see a lot more people move over to Kadena, and it's one of the many reasons why I recently issued a lot of different buy alerts for it, and why I very well think this could be a $50 per coin project very, very soon. It's like that is something would very easily happen, very conservative price, considering where it's at right now, how it stacks up to its competitors. And if you don't own Kadena, it's not available in all marketplaces just yet, but I would say, you know, KuCoin is the place where I buy mine. I think it's probably the best place to do it. But let me know your thoughts on all these projects. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Overall market is looking a lot better, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya.